My mission is to elevate women leaders who work in male-dominated fields. I call them steel-toe stilettos women, and they hire me to work with them to build their leadership skills and confidence, to lead under any circumstance, and to develop cohesive teams in an environment that is not always friendly to women leaders. I have walked in your shoes. I spent 30 years in the trenches of personnel management, real-life middle management experience. Do you know how to lead both up and down the company ladder? Knowing how to lead both up and down the ladder will make all the difference in your career success. Influencing your staff and getting C-suite buy-in? Now you're wearing steel-toe stilettos. Your staff are telling you stories every day. There are 3 different stories that can be played out that will tear your team apart. They can cost you lost production and employee turnover. Those stories are the victim, the imposter, and the saboteur. As leaders, we need to be the champion and teach our teams to champion for themselves and for one another. Mary had started out in the service department with her company and then became the top salesperson. After being with this company for 15 years, they promoted her to sales manager. She was really excited and looking forward to that new chapter of her life. 6 months into that promotion, the excitement and the newness, it had all worn off. And the reality of being a boss was hitting her hard. That's when I got the call. Mary asked me to meet her for lunch. When I saw her, I almost didn't recognize her. She was a different person. Her smile had faded, her hair had turned gray, and she wasn't bothering to color it anymore. And even the tone in her voice, it was just defeated. Becky, I see you with your staff and they bend over backwards for you. How do you do that? My staff, the account reps, they don't take me seriously as their manager. They see me as their peer still. My boss, he doesn't back me up. The company, they didn't even give me any management training. I never should have tried something new. This is what I get for stepping out on a limb and taking on that management role. I am nobody's boss. I'm working 70 hours a week and making less money. And worst of all, I never get to see the love of my life, my new boat. Do you think everyone will call me a failure if I go back to being just a sales rep? Mary, you were never just a sales rep. You were #1 in sales in the nation for your company, 10 years running. Who does that? Don't give up on yourself. You can be an awesome manager. So that day at lunch, it was an eye-opening conversation to have with Mary. She couldn't let the blame and resentment for not getting the training and the respect she needed and wanted. Mary was playing the role of the victim. The victim blames everyone else for their failures. It was her boss's fault, her staff's fault. Heck, at one point, I think she even told me it was her dog's fault. Let's look at the third story role, the saboteur. They're the most dangerous of all the storytellers on your team because they are out to sabotage your career, your project, your company, and sometimes even themselves. They could be that cunning, manipulative employee that wants your job. They sabotage your reputation and convince your CEO or your client that they can do your job better than you and you're no longer needed. Then there's the self-saboteurs. But we can sabotage our careers by not keeping up to date with industry changes. New technologies and advancement, things are always changing constantly. Are you? And ladies, let me tell you, sometimes your sabotage is as simple as not keeping your hairstyle and clothing up to date. I know it sounds crazy, but outdated styles send the non-verbal message to your C-suite that you have outdated thinking. If your company is not investing in you, are you investing in yourself? Or are you sabotaging yourself?